question in the back, Charles? Okay. Agree or disagree with the following statement? Evolution is incompatible with any religion that teaches that God created life with complex organic systems in place. 1 minute, Mr. Fisher.
It depends how far back you want to go. Jafar and I were discussing earlier. We can go back really far and keep asking the question, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? And at what point do you insert the creator? Right? There are lots of Christians who are scientists and who would say evolution is a really viable theory. Everything seems to fit it. And there are lots who say it's not. The one thing that they'll all admit at some point is that God started it somewhere, if they believe that it's something that could happen and is able to be harmonized with our faith. And so it is possible, but the question is it possible to be a Christian and believe that that God actually created complex, organic systems and molecules and whatnot? And I would say it depends on which evolutionist you talk to and how far back they want to go with certainty and their own claims about the theory. So I guess that's not a black and white answer, but
I would say no. It's not incompatible. Actually, they're very much compatible. Look at Francisco Ayala, Francis S. Collins, the head of the Human Genome Project, and Kenneth R. Miller, who testified in the Dover area school board court case in 2005. They all are professing believers in God, and this is not a deist kind of God, like say the Thomas Jefferson type of God or the George Washington type of God. It's a God that is active in the world and actually responds to prayers, very much like you would expect from any of the Abrahamic faiths. And what I think Mr. Fisher and I disagree with is that I think it's a dangerous game, and our ancestors played this game a lot, and we mock them at some level for doing this. But what they always did was they put God in the unknown. It's called God of the gaps. And wherever there's a gap we don't know, we put God in there. And that does a great disservice because, first off, it creates an unnecessary dichotomy between faith and science. And also, as our scientific knowledge grows, it's an inverse relationship with evidence for God, and that goes down. And that creates an arbitrary and unnecessary conflict between science and religion. If we base our belief in God on what we know, I think it's better.
Yeah, I think it's an oversimplification of the God in the gap kind of thing, where we fill in the gaps with God. One of the common attacks on someone who believes that evolution is not a viable theory at this point, or never will be, is that we're told that we're not intellectually curious, or we just want a simple answer to a complex question, that we want to put God up for anything we can't answer because it makes us feel better. I don't really believe that's the case for the majority of people who are seriously thinking about the topic. And so that might be an unfair characterization, but I don't think you were using that for all.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Hussain, 30 seconds.
We do have that disagreement with the idea of God of the gaps. Now, people that actually investigate this and come to the conclusion that that intelligent design is more viable than evolutionary theory. They've actually looked into it, so I wouldn't call them ignorant. I would disagree with them, and I would show them how the same evidence, when seen in the way that scientists look at it, makes more sense that evolution will work. Now, people that watch the news and say this, and or were told that evolution is random, and they never actually investigated it. I don't want to be mean, but I would say that there is a greater degree of ignorance involved in that kind of assessment, and that's where I put in the God of the gaps.
Mm-hmm.